Hi, can everybody hear me? Hi, welcome to VirtualCon 2024. My name is Zabby Homeshow, and you can call me ZHS. Next to me is my trusty Cheeto-loving sidekick and Zabby Homeshow accountant, Biff. We're pleased to be here at VirtualCon. This is the first year we've ever gave a presentation, and we just wanted to shed some light onto what goes on behind the scenes of the Zabby Home Show. As you know, as all of you know, or maybe you don't, the Zabby Home Show has been around for about 16 years. It started small and grew into a steady year-round contest for the deco community, and we are happy about that and proud that the Zabby Home Show has stood the test of time. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them in chat, and hopefully Biff will be paying attention and not eating his Cheetos, and he'll be able to help answer some of your questions. With everything that is long-lasting, growth must happen. And we heard a lot in Brian's presentation just before ours about the growth with Xeon and the exciting news that's coming with that. But we want to share you what it takes to keep a program such as Zabby Home Show for everyone in the community. The first thing you need to create a successful program such as a Zabby Home Show is the community. The community is the most important thing in my vision, because without the community, there's nothing else that we can do. You need people skills, you need marketing skills, you need artistic design skills, and you need organizational skills. And thank goodness for Biff, because Biff is very organized. Just a second here, I'm having a little problem. Okay, sorry about that. The Zabby Home Show is a massive undertaking with many moving parts. You simply must be able to keep up. It takes dedication and time and a massive amount of concentration to pull together the successful show. And again, you have to have the support of the community. You need sponsors, you need entrants, you need judges, you need marketing, you need support, and all of that comes from your community. Over the year, the show has developed to the point of having 12 categories to be judged per season, at the rate of 3 seasons per year. Last year, the Master Challenge was added, but sadly, it's not getting a lot of good traction. And when that one, we do have the Master category that does give 13 categories. And that was an awesome idea that was brought to us by Bad Timmy, who is part of our community. For each category, there needs to be at least 3 unique entrants to keep the category open and valid. If less than 3 entrants are made, then the category will be closed for the current season. We do this to keep it fair, because if we accept 3 entries from the same decorator designer and they are going to in that same category, then they're going to win that category hands down. And that does not make for a competition. And let's be clear, the Zabby Home Show is a competition. There's no room for favoritism in this competition, and that's where our judges come to play. We do pre-select our judges. We prefer our judges to be previous show winners, but we have made a foray into using non-show winners as judges. We like to have 5 judges, but sometimes due to circumstances, we may have to use one less or one more, but we always want the judging to be fair. We want the judges who have to be open-minded and who will be fair in the way they judge. In other words, they are judging the quality of the work submitted and not the person or the team behind the entry. There is no room for bias in this competition when it comes to personal grudges or likes or dislikes of a person's or team. Once the entry period for the show has been closed, the pre-selected judges are then emailed with instructions on how to judge. In the past, it was a nightmare sending out these extremely long emails for the judges, and then they would have to send them back to us. Well, thanks to a collaboration with another community business created by Jen, we have been able to implement a scoring and judging system that is much more streamlined, easier to use, and less time-consuming for all concerned. The judges are set up with a unique password to enter the judges' forms, and off they go. Once the judges have submitted their scores, the program automatically tabulates the winners and then takes the list of winners and goes to the next step. Once we have determined who our first place, second place, and third place winners are in every viable category for that season, then we create the awards. First place winners receive a magazine cover created by us, plus a Ray reward. The Ray reward depends on the generosity of our sponsors, and we'll talk more about our sponsors in a minute. We take the overall amount of the Ray sponsorships and divide that amount by the number of categories. If it's an odd amount, we shave a little bit off and put it into a savings account for future Zabby Home Shows. And the more balanced amount is divided between the first place winners, so each winner gets the same amount. For example, if the overall Ray amount of sponsorships is 4,650 Rays, we divide that amount by 12, which comes out to 387.50. So instead of giving out the odd amount, we lower that amount to 380 Rays, even times the 12 categories, which makes a total of 4,560 Rays. And we put the 90 Rays in the savings account. We usually shave it a lot closer, but just for simplicity, we use that as the example. And in this way, we can build up the reserve for the Zabby Home Show for future shows and expenses. On to the magazine covers. Those are exciting. Everybody loves to get their magazine cover. To create the winning magazine covers, Zabby Home Show has to go into every winning property and take the best photo possible of the property. Using our knowledge of software programs such as Photoshop, GIMP, or similar programs, we create these magazine covers for each category winner. These are kept top secret until the actual award show, where the winners are announced. Of course, each magazine cover is accompanied by a Ray prize, and that brings us to our sponsors. But real quick, before we get into the sponsors, on the magazine covers, not only does it have the winner, but it also gives you who the sponsors are and who the judges are. Because we do value our sponsors and judges, that we want to also give them the recognition that they deserve. So now on to the sponsors. Sponsors donate raise in exchange for our marketing for their businesses. We prefer to have sponsors who have an interest in the decorated community, but will accept anyone who wishes to sponsor. Sponsorship levels are the following. Platinum sponsors, which is our main sponsor, is a cost of $1,500 raise, plus they're responsible for the following. They provide the party venue for the winner's announcement party. They provide the venue deco, which includes placing sponsor signs where they are readily seen. They submit the event as a VWW of the day. They provide the DJ, inviters, greeters if they wish for them. And they provide the bulletin to post that advertises the event. We prefer that they don't have dance teams just because the dance teams take away from the awards when we're announcing awards. It's great that they bring people in, but they take away from the reason for the party. Savvy Home Show does the announcements in purple crayon, and we also provide the trivia, and our trivia sponsor provides raise to cover winners of the trivia. As stated, all sponsors have signage in the venue at the winner's announcement party, and the size of their logo depends on the level of their sponsorship. Platinum sponsors obviously get the largest logo, most prominent signage. Gold sponsors are the next largest, followed by silver sponsors, and finally trivia sponsors. Following our platinum sponsor is our gold sponsor. Gold sponsorships are $500 raise each, and as already stated, their signage is secondary to platinum sponsorships and slightly smaller in size. Following is the gold sponsorship is the silver. Silver sponsorship is $250 raise per business, and their signage is secondary in size to the gold sponsorship. And finally, our trivia sponsorship is $200 raise, and their logo is slightly smaller than the silver sponsorship. Trivia sponsors cover the amount needed for trivia for the winner's announcement party. Previous to last year, the only sponsorships available were for the main sponsorship, which was $1,500 raise, and the secondary sponsor, which is $500 raise. But we realized that sometimes people fall on hard times but still want to help. So we wanted to help by expanding the sponsorship ring to make it easier for business owners to get the marketing they desire with the Zabby Home Show without breaking the bank. We've also had a couple members share the cost of the platinum sponsorship. And this season is the first time we've had a couple share the sponsorship of a gold sponsor. And we have our first anonymous sponsor for this upcoming fall Halloween season. So that's kind of exciting that people are also finding ways to still sponsor without breaking their wallet. With each sponsorship, your logo goes into the forum graphics. It's listed in the forum's thread and also placed on the winner announcement bulletin, as well as in the venue and the date and time of the winner's announcement party. The logos are also placed in the Zabby Home Show main office for display for visitors. And it's really cool the way we have it set up in the office is there's a room in the office, and one wall is for spring, summer, one for fall, Halloween, and one for winter, Christmas. And those logos stay up until it hits that season again. So the ones that are there for fall, Halloween, those logos and links to their showrooms are going to be in there until the next fall, Halloween 2025 show. So we try to give them as much recognition and that we can, that's possible. Let's see. There would be no show without entrance. And we have heard people say, oh, my work is not good enough for the Zabby Home Show. Well, how do you know? There's always room for everyone to enter and possibly for everyone to win, or anyone. Not everyone. I wish everyone could win, but unfortunately. It all comes down to the judges. Every season, the guest judges are different and each one evaluates differently. Also, let me note that we have a special category for newcomers that is added into the category roster in the spring summer show. So if you've ever entered the Zabby Home Show before and want to get your feet wet, that is the perfect time to do it. We can add the newcomer category to other seasons upon request, but we do have to have 3 entries to keep it in that season. And we did get a request to add it to the fall Halloween, the newcomer to the fall Halloween show that's coming up. And we have 2 entries in there so far, so we do need a 3rd one to keep that the newcomer category in the fall Halloween show. Once the show is organized, and that is to say judges are selected, entries are accepted, sponsors are secure, judging is done, prizes are determined and created, and marketing is done, then it's time to put the finale of the season, the winner's announcement party. The winner's announcement party is the pinnacle of each season and gives Zabby Home Show the opportunity for a contented sigh that this season has been successfully completed and can finally take a rest until the next one. And the hardest, we don't get any rest when it comes to fall, Halloween, and winter Christmas because there's only like a month in between. So we are kind of doing those at the same time. So there's not a lot of rest, but it is a lot of fun and it's very rewarding. I personally love seeing the newcomers because with the newcomers, you can see that, okay, some of them aren't the seasoned decos, and then they win, and then they try again, and you see how much they've improved, and then they try again, and they place, and then they win in the regular categories, and it is so exciting for me to see how they start out and how they end up. And we've had some amazing people that have started out as a newcomer that have gone on to do amazing work, just amazing work. We do want to thank Otherverse and VirtualCon 2024 for allowing Zabby Home Show to be the presenter this year, and we greatly appreciate this opportunity and hope to see all of the participants in future Zabby Home Shows. I hope Biff was not munching on his Cheetos and was able to answer some of your questions. If you do have more questions, the scripted part of our presentation is done, but we would gladly love to hear for any questions that you may have. Oh, Perseus, you're still here. Perseus was a winner in the last Spring Summer Zabby Home Show, and he's going to be one of our guest judges in the Fall Halloween Zabby Home Show, so that's really exciting. So is there any other questions or? Okay, they don't feel confident because they're level. Okay, what advice did you give them? Personally, I would give them to keep trying. I remember years ago when I entered, it was, I think, my first year of decorating, and I just decorated a basic Zabby, and I thought that basic Zabby was fabulous. It's like, oh, this is a winner for sure. It's amazing. And I didn't even place. And I was like, oh, but I went and looked at those that won, and it's like, okay, I see. I did not deserve to win, but guess what? It inspired me looking at those that won. It inspired me to keep trying and to keep pushing myself. And now, before I took over from LDG with the Zabby Home Show, I won several Zabby Home Shows, and I placed multiple times. And all I can say is just keep trying. And ask questions. There are so many people out there in our community that are so willing to help you. So ask questions, and you'll have help. I'll be honest, decorators love showing off. And if they can show off and help you, they will help you. And if anybody knows any girls, Biff needs a girlfriend. I'm tired of the Cheeto dust in the office. I'm not mean. So if there aren't any other questions, I just want to thank everybody for coming. And I hope to see you. The Fall Halloween Zabby Home Show still is open and has plenty of space for more. And some great possible prizes. It's Fall Halloween. So fall obviously would be, fall colors, fall leaves, that kind of thing. Halloween is kind of broken up into like Halloween or spooky house. And anything that, I don't know, what's your idea of Halloween? Mine is scary. As much as I love those the Halloween category, I am kind of a wuss when it comes to horror. So I kind of have to go through them very slowly, and a lot of times I can't make it through the whole thing in one session. I have to go out and look at some other things and then go back in and finish my judging, just because I'm not good with horror personally. That's the great thing. Even though we have these seasonal categories, the seasonal is very specific as far as fall, Halloween. So we have categories specific to fall and Halloween. But we also have categories that are best basic Zabby, best room, best residential VWW, best custom prop. That does not have to be part of the theme. I mean, you could have a spring summer theme in the winter Christmas Zabby Home Show. It just wouldn't be under the winter or Christmas category. It would be under one of the other categories. So even though it's seasonal and it specifically reflects spring, summer, fall, Halloween, winter, Christmas, it doesn't mean that your entrance has to be always reflecting that specific season. Well, you do amazing work, Perseus. I've always been impressed going through your layouts. My personal favorite is Winter Christmas. So see, there's 3 different ones here. Oh, Biff, I told you he needs a girlfriend. Yeah, he's probably looking at those yucky marshmallow sugar-coated peeps. Is there anything else? Otherwise, again, thank you, and thank you, Otherverse, for this awesome opportunity. And don't forget to get out there and vote. for your best booth in per hall.